Hi, I'm Jim with InStuff Music, and I'm here today to do a demo of the Bogner ATMA. The Bogner ATMA. This is an EL84 Class A cathode bias power amp platform with EZ81 tube rectifier and 18 watts at its full setting, which can be switched down to 5 watts or all the way down to 1 watt. The clean channel has a volume and tone control, plus a bright switch, which lets you dial in a variety of sounds from blackface mid-scoop to thick tweed. The overdrive channels share the usual bass, mid, and treble controls, as well as a 3-position voicing gain switch covering 60s, 70s, 80s gain and tonal characteristics. A single gain control sets the overall gain for the crunch and solo channel, while the crunch preset gain on the back lets you dial in the gain difference between the two overdrives. On the back, we have 16, 8, and 4 ohm speaker outputs, a vintage and modern switch, and the 3-way switch to go between the wattage settings for the amp. Get yours today at InStuffMusic.com. Okay, and we're back after we did the specs and we talked a little bit about the signal chain for today. This amp has a ton of features, a ton of switches, just limitless possibilities. So we won't be able to cover everything this amp can do today, but I'm going to try to give you a big overview of all the different possibilities. We're going to start first with the Strat, and we're going to start on the clean channel. So we have a bunch of little toggles here. Now, as you can see, I just went down to the clean channel from the crunch channel, which is where I started the video. And these indicator lights now tell me the active controls on the front panel. So for my clean channel, I have volume and a single tone control. And also, to further tweak it, I have a 3-way brightness control, dark on the bottom, neutral, and bright on top. So let's leave it at neutral, and I'm gonna keep the amp, as you can see, every time I hit it, the little jewel light there blinks, which is pretty neat. I'm gonna keep the tone control at noon. I have the amp set at 18 watts, so full wattage, and let's start on the neck. Let's hear the neck and the middle. Now we're on the middle. Let's hear the middle and the bridge. Let's hear the bridge. Now, let's brighten it up a little bit. So let's leave the tone control alone and just put the bright switch in the up position, which is, of course, the bright setting. Let's go back to the neck. Here, there's a little bit of gain now, a little more gain, a little hair on it, and a lot brighter. Very touch sensitive. Let's listen to the bridge and the middle. I'll take the volume back a little bit. And of course, we can get a super clean sound if we take the volume down. I'll take the tone up a bit. Okay, so next let's take it to the crunch channel. All right, now on the crunch channel, this 3-way bright switch no longer functions. What we have on the crunch channel is gain, 3-band EQ, and this is the volume for the crunch channel. Now in the back of the amp, what you can't see is there is another gain knob for the crunch channel, and that lets you set your baseline gain level for the crunch channel. So I have that at noon. I have the gain knob out here at noon, and I have the EQ set as you see. So let's just listen here. Now, we have a 3-way switch, 60s, 70s, 80s, which will change the gain structure on the amp. I had it set at 70s there. Let's take it down to 60s. you can hear there's less gain, you know, maybe a little more boom to it. Again, really touch sensitive, kind of like in maybe early Plexi blues breaker territory there. Let's bring it back to 70s. You can hear the gain changing when I use that knob there. Then if I manipulate the gain knob in the back, you can hear the gain increasing. Right, so I had it set at about noon. Now I can take it up to solo mode. And in solo mode, I can increase my gain level here. Get even more gain on top. Now I have all my volumes set pretty flat, but you can see the solo mode has its own independent volume control. So again, you can kick that up and give you a boost for soloing. And there's a ton of gain on tap in this amp, so you don't even really need an overdrive pedal on top of it. You can just use the gain here and you have a great lead sound. Finally, there's the 80s mode, which is a little more compressed and again like a little tighter, more modern gain sound. So here's crunch. Now, on the back of the amp, in addition to the three-way wattage switch, we have a modern and vintage switch. So right now I have it in vintage mode. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kick it over to modern mode and let you hear, you know, a little more of a modern gain sound, especially with the 80s setting. So let me click that over real quick. Okay, now we're in modern. I'm going to keep it on the 80s setting. And they recommend, you know, this modern switch is especially useful with lower volume sounds. Here's solo mode. I can sync those mids a little and try to get a little more of a focus sound. Finally, you do have a foot switch with this amp, so I have an Echoplex and a loop. Let's give that a listen real fast. The loop's really transparent. There's really no change in tone when you engage it, which is always great. So next, we're going to take it over to the Les Paul. Let's hear some sounds with Humbucker. Okay, now we're back. Let's hear a little bit on the humbucker. Where did I go? I went to crunch setting, back to the 70s, vintage switch in the back, and I'm going to bring my mids back out a little bit and turn my bass down a little bit. Let's hear what we got. Effects loop back in. Out, and let's hear the 80s mode. That's really punchy, that's very tight. Let's hear the solo mode. And of course, this amp is switchable through 3 wattage modes, so it's great in the bedroom, great in the studio, and great live. An incredibly versatile amp. Hopefully that was a nice sample of all the sounds available. That was the Bogner. That was the Bogner ATMA.
Right on.